Simply Haven Farms. Today we are actually unboxing and putting together our new brooder system from Hatching Time. We recently got an incubator from them, and now we're going to put together their brooder system. We'll get started, we cut it open, and we'll take it out of the box together. We purchased a 2-level system. You can go ahead and get up to 5 layers of this, and you can add different layers on top depending on what you're looking for. You can go brooders, stuff for layers, for quail, for chickens. There's a lot of different ones you can look at. We'll go ahead and post the link below to the one we got, and you can visit the different parts of the website to see any more. Got some hoses. More hoses. Looks like the frame. It's the feeder. Instructions. The one thing from the reviews I did see online is the instructions are kind of terrible. This is arguably the most important part of the whole setup. It is the heater. It has a built-in thermostat, and it also has a light so that they'll have light, and I guess you can change that to however long you want them to have a light, depending on their age. Alright, we got another one of those. Frame. This is a really cool part. This, I guess, goes somehow over the feeders. And then you've got the doors. And you've got the floor mats. So when they're really young, I guess you can have the floor mats in. And then as they get older, you can take the floor mats out. Once their feet, depending on the size of your bird, as soon as their feet won't fit through the bottom tray. So I think this is the base frame. Another bottom frame. Got some wheels, which I don't think we'll put the wheels on right away. Or maybe we will. We'll see. But depending on where we put it. Got the water container with all the different feeders and waterers that come with it. So these work, they have these little super cute baby waterers that come with it, and then they also have these pipe waterers with nipples. And then they also have this attachment, which I don't know how, you put it on, but I'm not sure how exactly it all works yet. Haven't read the instructions, but it's pretty cool. And these are feeders you can put inside. Again, with this, we'll sit up top of the food so they can't make a big mess. Just trying to save as much feed as possible. Remember, these go above the feeder, and these go in the feeder to protect the feed, and this just prevents the birds from getting out if they end up somehow getting into the feeder. Alright, some more the frame. Alright, so this is the bottom, I think. So you can see they're kind of, my pinky will fit through it, so if you have small birds like maybe a bantam or a pheasant or quail or anything like that, their feet might fit through this. So that's why they have the option to have the trays. But they do have, which I'll pull out soon, trays for under this to catch all the poop. Nice piece of frame. And we got just basically saying, we can go on, thanks for our purchase, we can go online and watch a video on how to put it together. So there is that. Again, the video isn't, from what I've heard, the best in the world, but if you have issues, I'm sure you can probably solve it with that. But we're gonna try and do this together. Hopefully we'll iron out any issues we have. We do have 3 of their trays so that we can pull one out, and then we can still have, put the other one in while we go clean it, and then we're not having birds poop on each other. So just trying to prevent that. So that there, and then we have a few extra nipples. They sent it so we can add them, or we want to add it to something else, or add it. I don't know where I put the pipes, but add more to the pipes, then we can go ahead and do that as well. So leave that there. Pull that out of the way for now. And then we'll start with the directions. All right, so I build things constantly, like furniture and different things, for work, and the instructions are relatively, I don't know if self-explanatory is the right word, but straightforward. But they're not detailed, so it kind of makes sense. It's kind of like Legos. If you ever built a lot of Legos, it kind of shows you how it is. But I'm gonna go ahead and put this all together and kind of show you step by step. I think it says there's only like 8 steps in the whole thing, but it's really a lot more than that. So these are the backs. These ones are bent. I don't know if that's supposed to be bent or not. I guess we'll find out. So these all snap together. They're, I don't know, half triangle-ish shape. Rhombus, I guess. And then the door. Okay, now we're just going to put the face on. Snap one of these in at a time. They show you using a hammer, but I wouldn't use a hammer. I feel like you'd break it. They are easy enough to snap in. And there you have 1/3 of the cage. And then they say to put on one of these on this side. And on this side, we will put on the end cap. Tapping it into place. Have to do that 6 more times. First one put together, at least the frame. So one thing you want to be sure of is when you're putting this together, the instructions are clear that the 1 hole needs to be down at the bottom and the 3 at the top. I'm assuming that has something to do with the plumbing or the heater or one of those things. All right, now we're going to go to the next step, which is to start putting the frame together, which these plastic pieces. Okay, yeah, so they're all exactly the same. Okay, so what you do, put these after that, and then put that way to YouTube. Yes, probably not the best design, but you're gonna have to take off this front, just on the front ones, maybe the back on the back ones, just the middle too, so you can get your pliers in there to really hold this. All right, so now these just slide in here in the door. Gonna have to bend them just a little bit. Get all three in, and then I'll get them in a little more precisely, or to where they need to be. Alright, so this step's a little bit, it goes through about 100 things in one time. And so I can see where they get confused. So it goes through these legs, most of the watering components, and everything in one step. So I definitely get where everyone's kind of confused on it. This is a super cool watering system though. This is, you can adjust the height based on the age of your animals simply by twisting it. You know, you can set it up here, and as you get bigger, go all the way up, whatever you need. Just kind of start towards the bottom. Okay, there we go. And then these just simply, the other way. Sorry. These will go through, and then it'll twist and lock in place like that, and then slide out. But for now, we need to get these through the back here, and they go through these holes, and this is why you have the three at the top. You can see, so you have one that goes through here and from the inside, and one that goes through here from the inside again. Okay, so what I found is easiest, put them like this, and then you can just twist them from the back.
Can you show that again?
Sorry. Yeah. So just put them here, all the way down and all the way up. Like this. And find the holes. Do this either or, so you can have the waterers on the left or the right. That doesn't so much matter. You just line them up. So you put this together. So they have these little cups. As the chickens peck on them, they can go ahead and, or they'll knock more and more water into it. And these just simply lift that up, snap that in, then that'll lock. Alright. So as they drink, that'll just fill up. And if you need to add any manually, I mean, you can go in there to make sure they know there's water in there, and then they'll learn. It's kind of a snap. Quite a bit of pressure, more than you'd think you should need. But and then to adjust it, just wiggle it down right there. So that should be good for day-old chicks. And we can adjust it up as needed. Here. Push and twist, done, and then you can work your way down and just set it on there. And then this part might have been a little smarter to do before, but you just twist this on. There you go. Okay. And then this goes here. That'll connect to the one below it. Now we're just going to put this on the base. Ooh. Forward, do the same thing here. We'll set this aside for now, finish the other one, get it stacked on top so we can put it all together. Now that we've got both of them put together, we have the bottom over here and then the top one of the two over here. I'm gonna go ahead and put the, I guess the thing that goes through the plastic water bin. And with the gasket, go ahead and tighten it. So that should create a good tight seal. Expensive if it is wrong. Straight cut, ish. That. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and just put the plug in at the bottom. This way you can drain your system if you ever need to for cleaning or maintenance or anything. Slide this on over. Doors. We'll actually take this one. Then you connect the two hoses. So now once you fill this, it'll fill everything all the way down to this, and we'll just kind of leave that tucked there if needed. Now the whole water system, other than filling this and putting the lid on, is put together. Take some of these last parts, set them over here. All right, so you take these. Lock them all the way down this and this. Just kind of pops in like so. Now we're going to take this, lock it in, and this snaps in here. There and there, and then we'll get another one of these.
There we go.
And so this you can open, pour the feed in, close it, and then the birds can't get out. So some birds might, quail especially, can probably fit through this and get out here onto the feed. This will prevent them from getting out. It does lock in right here at each end so that it cannot be raised up when you don't want it to. And they also have these to go together. So you go, and then put this in here. Careful not to bend these. These feel like they could bend relatively easily. Lift that up, and then this will go in here on the feed. Okay, so now go ahead and we can use these extra feeders they gave us. Might be the cutest things, just baby little trays, and you can put the things so they can't, with their beak shake the food out. Set all these up. So they also come with these micro waterers where they can't drown, which is really nice. All right, now the last step is put the brooder heater in, which I'm not sure. Oh, it is at the last step. It's just not super clear. So it is there. It's just kind of tucked around on the side. And you also put the trays in. This was part of the last step. Probably would have been a little easier to do the little brooder portion before we got all this on, but it'll be okay. So for this step, we go ahead and we just cut out the knots. Again, depending on what side you put your water, you put this at the same side as your water, or these pipes, same side as that. Now we're going to take this, slide it through. There's also got supports on the inside here. And then right here's the thermostat coming through the bottom here. It's going to keep it at a good temperature. It appears it just kind of sits in place, maybe. This, I'm assuming there was either supposed to be a light bulb or maybe it's supposed to be spotting our own. Let me see. I mean, it pictures a light bulb, but it doesn't say we'll need it. Maybe. Oh. Bulbs for lighting sold separately. Awesome. I'm going to go get light bulbs tonight. We got chicks coming in the morning tomorrow. So E26 threaded base, recommended 25 to 75 watts. A whole heat. This here is a whole heater. It's got a stainless steel heating unit and an aluminum body. Yeah. So they want you to keep the light on 24 hours a day for the first 2 weeks, and then decrease it to 12 to 15 hours after that, which we're only going to keep most of our animals in here for 2 weeks anyways. Then once they feather out, most of the things we grow out, which we haven't done our quail yet, so we don't know quite yet on those, but our chickens and our turkeys are feathered out by 2 weeks. All right, so that seems like it's it. We're going to need, we go ahead and add the bottom one, and then we'll get the wheels on, and then we can go put it in the shed. So setting it up is pretty simple. The instructions aren't the best, as you'll see pretty much anywhere else on the internet. I didn't personally watch the video, but I've heard that's not perfect either. But it's a pretty simple build, but it looks awesome. Can't wait to try it out tomorrow. We'll let you know what we think of it, and after we run our first set of birds through it, we'll be sure to tell you all what pros and cons and what we like and don't like it. But we hope you enjoyed watching this as much as we enjoyed building it.
Our chicks just got here, and there are 50 of them in there, and they all look to be really healthy. The brooder is all set up, so we're going to dunk their heads in the water and then let them hang out in their new brooder. Yes, give me a help.
Can I dunk the water?
Okay, they are all in there, settled in. These look like some of the healthiest meat birds, chicks we have ever gotten. There were no dead. They're really nice and fluffy, and they went right for the water. They're eating. They look just really healthy. So, exciting. So far, the brooder's great.